Hi, I'm Bridger Fates, and welcome to Master Stockman's Sheep Management videos. We're going to do 8 of these videos, cover some topics that should be interesting to all of you, whether you're managing a small farm flock or whether you've got a large range flock like this that we're out here with today. I think you'll find these videos interesting. We've got a good team. Whit Stewart, Dr. Whit Stewart is our sheep specialist, and he's going to cover a lot of ground in these videos. We've also got myself, Bridger Fates. I'll be covering the economics. Bart and Stam will be hitting on the range management topics, and Hudson Hill will be covering a lot of sheep topics as well as focusing on risk management. So that's the team. We hope to do these videos in a little bit more interactive format instead of just a lecture format. So you're going to see some live action like this, you're going to see some lecture, and then you're going to see some roundtable discussion between all of us. So if that's interesting to you, stick around. We've got some great videos on tap for you. Today in episode 5, Hudson Hill is going to talk to us a little bit about the risk management agency, who's a partner of ours on these videos, as well as livestock risk protection for lamb.
Hi, my name is Hudson Hill. I'm creating this video to go in a larger set of videos for sheep producers, lamb producers, wool growers to manage risk on their agriculture properties and ranches. Really excited to be here today. My job is to talk about LRP, which is livestock risk protection, specifically for lamb. The first thing we need to talk about when we start talking about livestock risk protection, LRP, is the USDA Risk Management Agency. It's important to understand that when we talk about the livestock risk protection program, we're talking about a federal crop insurance program. It's through USDA Risk Management Agency, RMA, and like agriculture itself, the USDA RMA has crop insurance programs that are very dynamic. There's crop insurance programs for lots of different crops in lots of different situations in lots of different states and lots of different areas. Today, we're specifically going to talk about LRP. But the way you look at it can really be similar, and the way you make decisions can really be similar with the tools and the way you use the website and whatnot. So when we start talking about the USDA RMA, the first thing we do is go to their website. Here's the website. Here's the USDA Risk Management Agency website. It's just the beginning page, and you can see across the top, it'll take us home. It'll tell us about RMA. It'll help us find an agent. If we go down to the toolbar, we can look at policy and procedures. We can look at in our local states what's going on. And then right there in the middle, hopefully you can see commodities. We can look up whatever commodity we're interested in managing our risk on. Today we're talking about LRP Lamb, but yeah, you can find the commodity for you. There's some tools there and some other topics. This is the beginning point. In this video, we don't necessarily have enough time to go through it, and walk through the whole video, but the website is rather user-friendly, and you should be able to find what you're looking for on that website. So that being said, let's talk about the insurance product a little bit. All of us are pretty used to buying insurance for our vehicles. We'll go out and we'll buy a new truck, we'll buy a new vehicle, and we get insurance for it. And there's a reason we get insurance for it. It was a large purchase. We don't want bad things to happen. And we want to insure ourselves against the risk of actually losing something like this in our business that we desperately needed. But let's be really honest with ourselves. When we buy this truck here on the slide, when we buy a piece of equipment like this that cost us a lot of money, is this what we're looking for? Is this what we're hoping for? And I think pretty much everybody will say, no, that isn't what we were hoping for. We didn't want to wreck the truck. It was something we needed in our business and whatnot. So when we're buying insurance for this, we're not hoping for this. And it's really the same when we start looking at a crop insurance product, isn't it? We don't want our crop to fail. We don't want, all of our livestock to pass away. We don't want the market to fail. And so when we buy the the insurance product, we're really not hoping for our business to fail. We're simply buying the product to manage our risk. And so we have to ask ourselves the question, excuse me, we have to ask ourselves the question, is there risk involved? And I think everybody knows the answer to that. So the Livestock Risk Protection Program, LRP, is for lambs, it's for feeder cattle, it's for fed cattle, and it can be for swine. And so what it does is it insures against declining market prices. And so I'll throw this question out there. Is there is there in your businesses declining market prices? And I think everybody knows the answer to that, right? So here's a little example from 2020 on the northern video. Early summer, there was 15,225 lambs sold. At that time, those lambs weighed 91.35 pounds, and they brought $1.2720 for a total of $116. Late summer lambs, they sold 16,000 of them, weighing 85.68. They brought $1.4365. So they were at 123.07 per head. Then there was some early fall lambs, 1,200 of them sold, 80 pounds at $1.85. They brought 148. So I think we can answer the question: is price risk real? Absolutely. And so as a producer, as a business person, what we need to ask ourselves is when do we need to protect it? When do we need insurance? When do we need to manage our risk? When's enough is enough? And just exactly what do we need to pay our bills for the year and keep moving on. So and that's really the way this insurance product through USDA RMA is set up. And so we can see that that price risk is real, prices change. And this is LRP, this is livestock risk protection, kind of in a nutshell. And I certainly am not going to say that this slide does the product justice. It's just going to touch on some of the high points, and I'll hopefully visit about them a little bit. But livestock risk protection insurance establishes a floor selling price. Basically, when you buy insurance, on the day you buy insurance, you're guaranteeing yourself a price tied to a national index for that year, or for those lambs, actually, not that year, but for those lambs that year. You're basically establishing a floor price. That floor price will pay a producer if national cash price indexes fall below insured level. You're basically guaranteeing yourself a price on whatever lambs you insure. We can buy insurance to make sure if there's a wreck, we can handle it. So it does not insure your cash price. It's just insuring you against a national price. So you can collect on a national price. You can even keep your lambs. You can sell your lambs, and that's and that is a completely different deal than basically buying insurance against what the national index price is going to do. It's really similar to purchasing a put option. And over the years, we've talked to a lot of producers about, getting into buying an option and protecting their price. But boy, it's kind of difficult for some producers. Options are fixed in sizes of 50,000 pounds. And where this insurance product is a little bit different, LRP is quite flexible. You can insure one lamb up to 1,000. It's really quite a nice flexible product that way. And in the case of livestock risk protection for lamb, it would be purchased through a crop insurance representative. So again, that slide's not necessarily telling you everything about the product, but hopefully it does hit the high points for you to then go to the USDA RMA website and look things through for yourself. It really gives producers another option to managing their risk on their properties, so on their ag properties and businesses. So LRP, an LRP for lamb is a good product. Currently, right now, today, LRP for lamb is not available. It has been available for the past. It's been a product that we've seen producers use and use effectively. The primary factor right now that LRP for lamb is not available to producers is the confidentiality of price reporting. It's a hurdle. You know, I'm kind of a productionist. I like having dirty boots and being out on the ranch and working with producers. Right now, we've got a lot of economists and other people that are working to try to fix this. We had we had some buyers and some processing plants that have gone offline, and we don't have enough places that are buying and selling and slaughtering lamb that we can have confidentiality of price reporting. There is a startup lag, so even if we have another plant starting to process lambs, there is going to be a startup lag. The main thing I wanted to say about this is I understand that LRP for lamb is not available right now. It's been a good product in the past, and right now we have good people working on it in the country to solve the LRP problem, to solve LRP lamb. We have confidence that will get solved, and in the future, LRP for lamb will be available for producers in the future. Right now, I'm working with Master Stockman Consulting. Here's one of our risk management rules. When we go to USDA, when we go to a crop insurance advisor, we really encourage people to use crop insurance products to mitigate risk. You know, there's sometimes salesmen and sometimes other people who say, hey, this is a good product. It's subsidized by the government. We might want to speculate on it. But as our company, our Stockman Consulting company, we really encourage producers to look at it as a risk management tool. Use it to mitigate risk, not to speculate money-making strategy. You know, I'm sitting here telling you that there's some good products. The products are online. Insurance is a good way to manage risk, but not necessarily are we going to buy crop or livestock insurance every year. But we really feel strongly that producers should be, even if they're not buying it every year, they really should be analyzing their options every year, thinking about what they need to do to manage risk. And that changes from year to year. It changes from producer to producer. But if we're doing that, if we're looking at it from year to year, we're really covering the basis on, are we doing what we need to do in our businesses to manage risk and do what's best for our ownership, for our bottom line, for our employees and everything involved. So it might not be something you buy every year, but certainly it should be something you consider every year.
So Bridger, risk management has been a real theme of all of these videos that have been produced recently. Why is risk management important in enterprise health, especially in the sheep business?
Well, I think sheep producers face a lot of different risks. We can talk about production risk, weather risk, lambing risk, predator loss risk, those sorts of things that they face on a regular basis. And then we face, weather conditions, drought risk, those sorts of things. Certainly, in one of the other videos we talked about the pasture range and forage insurance. I think that's a great tool for mitigating some of that precipitation risk. But one of the other risks that we really face in the lamb industry is price risk, and price volatility is pretty darn high in the sheep business. You'll go from 2-3 months and you can see $20 or $30 a hundredweight difference in lamb prices. So it's definitely a concern that we have for producers, and finding tools to be able to manage that price risk is really important.
So, Bridger, if we're talking about price protection, we're really talking about LRP or livestock risk protection, and since we're talking to sheep producers today, it's LRP for lamb. One of the important things to mention about that is right now LRP for lamb is not available.
Yeah, that's the challenge of making a video series. We want to talk about LRP for lamb. It's an important product because price risk is really real for these producers. But it isn't available right now, and some of the challenges with the product The main challenge has to do with the mandatory price reporting and the confidentiality of reporting. So right now, there's not enough lamb slaughter facilities that were reporting prices that we could maintain confidentiality. So the product isn't available. Now there have been some new facilities come online, but there's a lag with new facilities. So there is a year grace period before mandatory price reporting kicks in for those facilities. And then there's also sort of an understanding of a startup time there too. So there's really a lag before we're going to be able to have that tool back on the market. So we're looking forward to it, but right now it's not there. But maybe when you're watching this video, it might already be up there on the market.
So we believe it is a positive tool and a good tool for producers to look at and maybe even use. How can they watch for it to become available? When will they know? How will they know?
Yeah, it'll be a real industry collaborative. I think ASI, the American Sheep Industry, is really plugged into this as well. So stay involved in your industry, and ASI will certainly be letting folks know, as well as USDA, RMA. Certainly they'll let folks know, and we'll all sort of keep an eye on that. So keep focused on it. In terms of how you might use that when it's back up and running, it probably doesn't make sense for every producer every year to be able to set that floor price on their lambs. But there's a lot of years where it makes a lot of sense. In those years where you're coming into a year where there's a lot of downward risk towards price, it's definitely something worth considering. Even if you're just coming into a real volatile market, so you're not sure if prices are going to be high or low at the end of when you're marketing your lambs. Another great time to really think about this as a product and as a tool to manage your operation.
So how can sheep producers affect bringing it back online? Who should they be talking to and who should they be supporting?
Well, as an individual producer, I'm not sure. It's pretty tough to affect this. A lot of it is really just as these new plants come online and be able to, increase the number of data points being reported so we can get over that confidentiality. Certainly, talk to your individual state associations as well as the American Sheep Industry Association. They are very plugged into this issue as well, and we're all motivated to get a product up and working for you as producers. So with that, thanks for watching this video. We'd like to thank the USDA Risk Management Agency for partially funding these videos. We'd like to thank them for the products that they offer producers to help them mitigate risk. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please comment down below as well. So let us know what you found useful in this video, if there's something that you can use, and let us know other videos that you might like to watch in this series. So hope you enjoyed this video, hope you've enjoyed the other videos in this series, and we hope to see you on another video in the future. Thanks.